Preseason football is in full swing, hot takes flying faster than rookie hype tweets, and that can mean only one thing. Fantasy football season is here. If you're drafting from the 104, if you just want to think about what your opponent might be doing there, then this is the video for you. We're breaking down the top options, who to target, who to fade, and the roster strategies that give you the edge in 2025. Let's get into it. By the time the 104 rolls around, in most drafts you can pretty much assume that Jamar Chase and Bijan Robinson are both going to be gone. But don't panic because the board's still pretty loaded at this pick. You're likely looking at Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson, Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb. There's an outside chance that Bijan slips, and if he does, you just smash that button. But let's break down each realistic option that you'll have. Saquon Barkley. Barkley is the safest bet to still be there, and honestly, he's an easy click at the 104. Yes, he's coming off a monster workload, over 400 combined touches, including the playoffs. And yes, historically, backs with that kind of volume tend to dip the following season. But here's the reality. Barkley is still the focal point of this offense. He's a threat to break a big play at any single moment. He's coming off a season where he outgained every other running back by more than 300 rushing yards. In consensus rankings, he's sitting at RB3, but in some drafts, you'll still see him going as high as the 101, 102, 103. If you want an elite, proven running back and you're comfortable with the volume risk, then Barkley's your guy here. Justin Jefferson. Another year, another quarterback change for Justin Jefferson, but if history's taught us one thing, it's that he's QB-proof. Career averages 96.5 receiving yards per game, never had a season under 87.5. That's absurd consistency. And last year, only 5 players hit that mark. Justin Jefferson was one of them. He's been a top 5 wide receiver in PPR points per game every year since 2021. The one wrinkle, he has been dealing with a mild hamstring strain through training camp. Now, mild does sound fine. Hamstrings can linger, but still, if you want an elite weekly floor and top 5 upside, Jefferson is a rock-solid choice at 104. Jahmyr Gibbs. Now here's where it gets spicier, because there's been a steady drumbeat from analysts like Evan Silver and Ben Gretsch calling Gibbs the potential RB1 overall. In 2024, he finished as the RB3 in PPR points per game, 3rd in total running back yardage, and 6th in targets. He also had 6 games over 20 points, and 4 of those came with David Montgomery fully healthy and playing. The risk, it is obvious. Montgomery is still a factor, though, especially near the goal line. But Gibbs' ceiling and efficiency and explosiveness, they just make him a true ceiling case player. And we're drafting for those 25-plus point weeks. Gibbs can give us that. CeeDee Lamb. Now, if you're looking for a wide receiver who could legitimately challenge Chase and Jefferson this year, then CeeDee Lamb's on that shortlist. He's Dak Prescott's clear number 1, and with the Cowboys leaning heavier on the passing game because their running game, it isn't going to be good. Lamb's target share could creep even higher. George Pickens is going to clear out players downfield, which will open up space underneath for him. If you miss on Justin Jefferson or want a wide receiver anchor on your roster, CeeDee Lamb's a really strong pivot at the 104. My choice. If Bijan Robinson falls, then I'm doing that all day. Don't overthink it. He's a top 2 running back in almost every projection, checks every box, rushing volume, efficiency, receiving work, and goal line usage. Let's talk about a few players to avoid, though. Puka Nacua. Puka's incredible, but he's not in the 104 conversation for me. Yes, the Rams are handing him the wide receiver role, and yes, Devontae Adams will help draw coverage away from him in a way that Cooper Kupp wasn't doing last year. But Puka averages 0.3 touchdowns per game, less than Jamar Chase, Jefferson, and Lamb, and unless that changes, his weekly ceiling just isn't on the same level. The issues around Matthew Stafford have been worrisome for weeks now with his back injury, and to be honest, you might see Puka Nacua fall at the 2nd round, so there's no point taking him here. Christian McCaffrey. This one is going to split people. When healthy, McCaffrey is the most complete fantasy running back in football, but he's played more than 11 games just once in the last 4 years, and using your 104 on an injury-prone 29-year-old running back, it carries real risk. Obviously, if you're swinging for the fences, then I get it, but if you want to limit downside, there are safer players here with potentially the same high ceilings. Your 104 strategy, it'll depend on how you start. If you take Jefferson or Lamb, you can still land strong running backs like Bucky Irving or Josh Jacobs in round 2. You'll have shots of elite quarterbacks and tight ends. You go running back, Barkley or Gibbs, the wide receivers available in round 2 are more volatile, like guys like Tyreek Hill, maybe even Garrett Wilson, both with question marks. So this is a great spot for a hero running back build. Lock in your elite running back early, then pound wide receivers. We're going to use the Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard to mock draft. It's insanely customizable. You can sync your leagues to it and automatically copy your settings, and then it'll adjust the rankings for that. You can choose which expert rankings and insights you see, including mine, which are part of the expert consensus rankings of over 100 people across the industry. No waiting around for other people. Nobody taking 6 kickers. Instead, we mock against the Wizard, get from top experts on our drafts. Check out the link in the description below to start your mock drafts right now. So as you can see, we're using the 2025 season, half PPR, snake draft, and we're picking from the 104. I've got this set to be 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 kicker, 1 defense, and 6 bench spots. So pretty regular sort of stuff that you'll see in a lot of home leagues. When it comes to us, we've gone Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson. So we do miss out on Bijan, but let's take Jahmyr Gibbs as the RB3. I think that he's got a real chance to be the RB2 or RB1 overall. In round 2, Drake London falls all the way to us. That's an easy pick, somebody that's been high on all offseason. In round 3, let's continue with wide receiver and go JSN. Reports out of training camp have said everything has been funneling through him, so I feel good about that pick. Round 4, Devontae Adams. Look, mentioned that Puka Nacua, I don't feel great because of the lack of touchdowns. I think Devontae Adams is coming to the Rams to be that touchdown scorer, and whilst I don't want to spend a round 1 pick on Puka Nacua because of the injury risks around Matthew Stafford, in round 4, I'm much happier paying that. In round 5, we'll reach down a little bit and take Tony Pollard. The reports around Tajay Spears' ankle sprain aren't particularly good, so I'm happy to get him here as our second running back. I'm not willing to take Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, or Bo Nix just this early, so instead we'll go over the wide receiver slot and we'll take George Pickens. I think that he could truly have a big breakout this year. Next at running back, let's take Jaylen Warren. It seems like everything's clearing for him to have a really strong start to the season, and maybe we don't get a full season of him being the RB1, but we'll get enough that we can then make moves later down the road. Next after that, let's take Austin Eckler, whose pass catching upside should be really strong, particularly now that he looks set to gain even more snaps. Then we'll take Emeka Egbuka, who honestly might not make it to round 9 of your drafts. He's getting up there very quickly. Checking in on the quarterback, we could take Dak Prescott and stack him with George Pickens. We could take a tight end in David Njoku, Evan Ingram, but let's keep pushing that. And we'll go back to the running back well, and we'll go with Trey Benson, who looks to have a bigger role with the Cardinals this year. We've got 5 more picks, so we can keep going a little bit. Quarterback, tight end, David Njoku looks okay, but my guy Tucker Kraft, been very high on him all year, was elite in yards after the catch, got 7 touchdowns, led the Packers in touchdowns last year. And now, when it comes back, let's take Drake May and swing for real upside and hope that he can turn into a true dual threat. When things come back around to us, we'll take a risk on Ollie Gordon. Maybe it doesn't pan out, but it looks like he's going to get plenty of touches to start the season with Devon Achane dealing with that calf issue. Then, with our last 2 picks, we'll take the Chiefs defense, who I think are going to have a very nice year, and then Chase McLaughlin. I don't know a lot about kickers, so we'll just take the highest off the board. You can see the mock draft wizard, it's given us an A, 94 out of 100. If we click through, we can see that we got Tucker Kraft in the 11th round, 2 rounds later than he's ranked. We also got Drake May 3 rounds later than he's ranked. And we got Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Devontae Adams, Tony Pollard, George Pickens, Jaylen Warren, Austin Eckler, Emeka Egbuka, Trey Benson, Tucker Kraft, Drake May, Ollie Gordon, Kansas City Chiefs, and Chase McLaughlin. What would you have done differently from 104? Would you have taken a different player? Let me know in the comments down below. We've got these for pretty much every draft pick, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we've got so much good content coming your way.